Our patience has been rewarded. 2025 Chevrolet Suburban. Biggins, hogs, legends, the ultimate family haulers, the biggest of the big. That's a 2025 Suburban. I've been waiting for this comparison. We had a 2023 Suburban or a Tahoe, but I waited because there's a lot bigger screen in there, and that's gonna need that to compete with the new Ford Expedition. All right, would you believe me if I told you that some people think that those have fallen off? Some people think that American cars suck now. Huh? All right. Let's not worry about recalls right now. Let's not worry about any badness with 6.2s or anything. Let's just focus on the vehicle themselves. And I swear to God, we'll cover all of that nastiness as we move along. Let's start with the bow tie. Chevrolet Suburban. Remember the HHR? That stood for Heritage High Roof, Heritage High Roof, I think, or Heritage High Top Roof, something like that. And that was an homage, paying respect to the OG original Suburban way back in the 40s or the 50s, I don't know. But here it is, the latest iteration, Behemoth. Now, Casey, it looks like a Tahoe. Well, a Tahoe and a Suburban, they are very, very close related. A Suburban just adds a few more inches, you know what I'm saying? And always adding inches is good. 5.3 liters worth of V8 underneath the hood right there. Now, let's go ahead and discuss this because I told you we were going to discuss this. 6.2 liter V8s. Listen, General Motors knows how to make a V8. They've always made damn good V8s. They're engineering them to fail, allegedly. That vehicle right there goes through 17 different cycles to get you the best mile per gallon. Now, look at it. It's still, after all of that crap, it's still only pulling 17, 18, 19 miles per gallon. The son of a gun weighs like 2.5 tons. I mean, it seats like 8 people. What do you want it to do as far as gas mileage goes? Over here in Fordville, see, Ford plucked the V8 from underneath the hood of that years and years and decades ago. That's got a twin turbo V6. It's got more power than the V8, but guys, I don't give a shit, I want me V8s. Well, and that's just, some people want V8s and some people want smaller engines and turbos. Obviously, the Expedition gets better gas mileage, but not by much. I mean, it's still a big behemoth as well, too. All right, here we go. Suburban LT. Got a power lift. What is this? What the heck is this? I don't know what we've got going on right here. I wonder if this is stock and factory. I got a real funny feeling that it's not. So anyway, here we're going to pretend that that does not exist. All right, we've got folding, power folding seats. That's with the cargo area up right there. That's a lot of storage right there. I say the best way we do this is to go back and forth. So let's walk right back over here to the Expedition Max. Because same type deal, regular Expedition competes with the Tahoe, competes with a Yukon, and then you come over here and you get the Expedition Max. And when you do that, that is how you bump up and compete with the Suburban. All right, all new for 2024 right here is the Expedition. Let's go ahead and raise up. We have a split folding tailgate, and I gotta be honest with you, it may not look the coolest when it's all closed up and everything, but for tailgates and things like that, that little tailgate right there, that's going to be really good just to use as a shelf to sit on, whatever. All right, as far as towing going, they're both going to tow between 8,000 and 9,000 pounds, a whole bunch. So big boats, campers, stuff like that, that's what these things are bred to do. I got to be honest with you, looks like the cargo area is larger in the Suburban. What do y'all think? We got power third row seats right there on the left side. We've also got a power outlet right there, some USB-Cs, and we've also got a 12 volt right there. So we got plenty of options as far as charging. I left these cars running so we could play. Let's throw the seat down right there. Automatic one touch, but God almighty, can you imagine standing out here with the kids pulling on your clothes? It's raining outside. It does lay down flat though. Split rear folding. All right, Suburban, what have you got to offer us here? I will say this, it did look like it had a lot more floor space. And now that I'm back here again, it still looks like it has more floor space. All right, now we've got a power outlet right there. We don't have any USB-Cs or anything like that, but we do have a power outlet, no 12 volt. Let's go ahead and put this down. Definitely goes down a heck of a lot faster right there. So hobbly little tip right there. If you have a lot of kids and it rains a lot, like you live in Seattle, and the ease and the speed of the third row seat going down is important to you, Chevrolet wins by a lot. All right, let's see. Let's go ahead and start playing underneath here. We got some. Now this vehicle right here has not gone to detail yet. That is why there are little things like this underneath there, but we ain't about to touch no rags that are left in a car because I just don't feel like doing that. There's a, oh God. Nope, we're not touching any of that. As far as your trailer towing hitch, there's a little plastic panel right there, kind of sitting cockeyed. That'll pull down, and right there's your hitch. Spare tires up underneath, just like Suburbans before. All right, now let's move on up to the rear seat of the God, this thing looks so good. I'm a big fan of Suburbans. Big fan of Suburbans. All right, here we go. The squishy squish test between the Tahoe and the squishy squish test between the Expedition Max and the Chevrolet Suburban. Ooh, the squishy squish is king right here. We're squishy squish. Hard plastic down low. It's a Bose stereo because it just is General Motors. They wouldn't have it any other way. Looks like we got a little 3-level storage right there, a little pocket right in there to hold something. All right, we got both mat pockets on the back of the seats. No cost-cutting measures going on right there. Looks like we got automatic climate control in the back. Looks like we've got different modes, heated seats, USB-Cs. We've also got another power outlet down there, so that makes a total of 2 so far. We've got all of our vents are in the headliner right there. We do have a big, huge panel moonroof right there. Not quite as big as the Ford, but it is there. As far as laying these seats down, looks like we're gonna go once and then twice, and that's how you do that right there. Okay, so not very luxurious, but it does open up a big, huge hole. So here we go. In case you don't know, I am about 6 foot, 6'1" if I stand up straight, about 260 pounds. I do not tell you that to brag. I tell you that so you can compare your size to me, and so you'll know how you would fit in the third row of a Chevrolet Suburban. I got headroom for days, knee room. If you even had this seat up right here, see? Yes, plenty of knee room going on, headroom, shoulder room. I could easily ride back here. I don't know for how long I'd want to do it, but I could easily ride back here. All right, let's move on up. God, look at that. Okay, here we go. Let's get on into the nitty gritty right here. Screens. It's all about screens. That's a 17-inch monster right there. That's why I was waiting. Chevrolet's up to their screen game. Casey, I hate screens. I think screens suck. What if they go out and break? I do agree. I have those thoughts myself, but all car manufacturers are going with screens. That's just the way it's going to be played out from now on. It is cheaper to put an app or something inside of a screen than to make a button. And I will prove that to you hand over hand, handedly. When we get into the Ford Expedition, because everything over there is touchscreen. It actually makes me crazy. All right, so there's a good look from the third row looking up front at the Chevrolet Suburban. Now this is an LT, so this is not going to be quite as loaded up and as zooed and wham-whammed as some of them can be, but it will give you an idea of what is going on. Let me just put that back up and then put it back right just like that. All right, moving right along to the Ford Expedition Max. All right, this is a brand new vehicle, so there's plastic mats, all kinds of stuff all over there. Since we started with the squishy squish test, let's keep on going with the squishy squish test. All right, very squishy, very squishy. Got some nice deep thick leather right there. Hard plastic down low, water bottle holders, Sprite can holder right there. We've got dual mat pockets on the back of the seats. If you'll notice this right here on Expeditions, they made a little bit of a change. Now you've got 2 USB-Cs on the back of this chair, and you've got 2 over there. what they did is they have removed them from the back of the center console. Cup holders are right there. There's your automatic climate control. We've got a power outlet down low right there. Looks like we don't have any power seats back here, so you can have heated seats back here. Then if you look right over there on the side, you got some more USB switches or USBs back there. Now let's go over there and use that since I've got the mats in this. Ford really upped the luxury level of the Expedition this year, not just the Expedition Max, but the Expedition. Everything, like I was talking about, is in the screen. Everything is power operated. So here we go. We're gonna come up here and we need to get into that third row, Casey. I'm gonna push that right there, and it's just one push now. Just kind of give that a little helping hand and it's up. Oh wait, I'll tell you what though, it looks smaller, doesn't it? It looks like it might be, that hole right there for me to climb through is not quite as large in the Suburban as it was in the, or it's not quite as large here as it was in the Suburban. All right. My size has not changed since the Suburban. Oh. Oh. Whoa! It ain't even close, bruh! I'm touching the roof. It's more comfortable in the back of that Suburban than it is the back of this Expedition Max. Whoa. I don't even know if I could get this to come back. Well, I can because I've still got some room right here, but no, it is, you can feel it's a lot smaller in the third row. So if you have a large family and everybody's large and big men, big women, big bone folk, Suburban's got more room. All right, now it is not just Chevrolet that is doing big screens and everything is screens. Remember, this is the basis for a Lincoln Navigator. So we got a lot of Lincoln going on up there, a lot of Lincoln. They've got the big, huge panoramic screen up there. I don't know how many inches of screen are in this, but it's all about screen. The headlight controls are now in the screen. The telescoping, scoping wheel, that is now in the screen. So a lot of changes. But that is what it does look like right there. Got a big, huge moonroof. This is the Active. Now, the Active has replaced the XLT. For 2025, there is no XLT, and that goes for Explorers and for Expeditions. So Active is now the base model, which is what this is. No, 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 no. All right, we've got, here are your four-wheel drive controls and your drive modes. Automatic start, stop, parking sensors, lane keep assist, traction control off, 360-degree camera. There's your headlight controls. Dual power seats on this one. God, the screens look really good. Casey, I just can't get into the screens. Now, I will say this, I don't like this. Now, as far as girth on the steering wheel, the girth is huge. I'm pretty sure it's got way more girth than the Ford. But the first time I saw this was in a Chevrolet Blazer EV. I just don't like this stick stalk. But then again, over there on the Ford, you're gonna have a dial for the transmission. So either way, you're not getting an actual shifter. We got dual zone climate control. There's your fan controls. You know, it's the standard stuff. Wireless charging pad, a couple of cup holders, massive center console, USB-Cs, USB-Ds to charge them up. Go ahead and crack open that roof right there. I don't know how many airbags are in here. I'm sure there's millions and millions and millions. Automatic shutdown in 2 minutes. It's been running for a minute. We can go ahead and turn it off. Coming off the mirrors. Okay, okay. Drive modes. We got low washer fluid. Okay, we're cool with that. Ooh, sport. Off-road. Tow haul. That looks good sitting there like that. Looks prestigious. All right, here we go. Normally, you would find your headlight controls, but that has removed itself, and the headlights are now in those screens. So there are your four-wheel drive controls and your drive modes. Electronic parking brake right there. There's your hood release dual power seats. If you look right there underneath the steering wheel, there's your trailer braking controls. That center console is going to perform all kinds of tricks for us once we get in here. Let's turn the vent down just a little bit so it's not blowing all up in everyone's faces. All right, something else. Ford has gone with a weird steering wheel. I'm talking straight up oval. The girth, it's not the girthiest thing, so if you like a girthy steering wheel, the Tahoe wins all day long, every day. Casey, how do you make that oval move? Well, take your little thumb right here, and we're gonna come up here. We're gonna press OK, and now we're going over here. Now, I'm not a very big fan of that, but Ford did not call and ask me what I think of it. Also, if you'd like to turn on your headlights, you'll come right here and press the vehicle, and you'll go to lighting, and then there are your headlight controls. So, Casey, you set them to automatic and never touch them again. What the hell's the matter with you? Well, some folks don't set them like that. So anyway, you have to go in through the screen right now. We do have dual zone climate control, heated and cooled seats. There's that dial transmission. There's how you shift gears if you wanted to shift gears in here. Everything is in the screens. There's no buttons. Look how clean and simple everything is. You got a couple of shortcuts right there. You got your camera shortcut button. And as far as the camera package on here, it's got a few more options than the Suburban, but it's pretty much the same thing. Coming off the mirrors, coming off the 3-seat, or coming off the tailgate to look at the trailer hitch, and then coming off the mirrors for your side. You've also got automatic start-stop technology right there, lane keep assist, hazards, traction control, same type stuff. All right, I told you the center console does cool stuff and plays with stuff. I'll let you have a little look right there. It says slide, so let's go like this. So we're going to slide that forward to close it all up. You got 2 cup holders in there. There's your trailer brakes and all of that. Wireless charging pad. And close that up. Now, let's back the console up. And underneath, now not all of them have this, but this one is equipped with the safe. And so you can keep whatever you needed to down there, perhaps a burner if you live close to Atlanta. But some of them, there's nothing down there and it's just a big catch-all. And then, so you can keep things underneath there and then close the center console of it, and no one is the wiser. Now, it still does open up and have a huge hole down in there for all of your USB-Cs and stuff like that. It's a different world. It's all about the technology. Pricing. I don't have the window sticker for the 2025 Suburban, but I do have one for the Expedition. Think 70s. I think you could probably start in the mid 60s for both vehicles and move all the way on up into the 80s, possibly the low 90s, depending upon how platinum-y and how loaded up high country you get. All right, this is an active, and then you go from an active to, you got 4 different trim levels. You got active, platinum, King Ranch, and trimmer. So this is going to be more of like your base model, I guess. All right, 2025 Expedition Active 4x4 Oxford White, dark gray. Remember, this is a Max, which competes with a Suburban. If it didn't have the Max, it would compete with a Tahoe. We're getting 15 miles per gallon on the city, 22 on the highway, $75,290. We're getting 20-inch carbonized gray. We've got floor liners for $200. We got the console vault for $360. You're connected for forward capability for 1 year. Front license plate bracket, they throw that in. $75,290. Now, once again, I don't have the window sticker for this, but you're going to start somewhere in the mid 60s. I believe these brand new for 72, 74. So we're all in the same price tag here. I'm telling y'all, these manufacturers, they get together in a room and say, okay, here's what we're doing for this model year. Let's discuss this. We'll keep all the pricing in there. I mean, I really truly believe that they all get together anyway, because if one of them has something way better, then everyone will flock to that vehicle and leave the other one out. But if something's got going on right there, that means everybody will flock to that one anyway. So that way that doesn't happen and everybody gets a piece of the pie. They're passing around notes. I think it's time to go for a ride. Let's take the Suburban first. This is the girthiest steering wheel I've ever grabbed. The Raptor R has a super thick steering wheel, and that's usually the thickest one I've ever got a hold of. But the girth on this is, it's pretty massive. All right, it's been quite a minute since I've driven something with a 5.3 liter V8 under the hood. I'm a firm believer in the 5.3 liter. When I was a teenager, well, I guess I was 19, 20, 21. I was a younger lad. I owned an F-150 extended cab, a 99 with a 4.6 liter V8. One of my other friends had a Toyota Tundra with a 4.7, and my other friend had an extended cab Silverado, and all of them were like 99, 2000 models. And that 5.3 Chevrolet sounded so freaking mean. The Tundra outran all three of them because the Tundra was a lot lighter, and that 4.7 was a happy revving son of a gun. But anyway, 5.3 liters. I guess that's the engine to have right now, since the 6.2 is just a big steaming pile of crap. But I hate saying that. Pisses me off. General Motors, do you enjoy seeing all these videos and people making fun of your product? If you just get rid of that cylinder deactivation crap. This is a big, huge, monstrous sled. What kind of gas mileage would you expect something like a freaking Chevrolet Suburban to get? I mean, Jesus. The fact that y'all got it getting 15 to 18 to 19 miles, 20 miles a gallon on the interstate is amazing. Enjoy the success. But anyway, that's not what Chevrolet's doing. They've got 17 different engine cycles so that you can cycle through and the engine can get the best possible gas mileage in any situation. I hate it. But anyway, Chevrolet Suburban's been out for a long, long time. I'm going to tell you a little bit of information that some of y'all will like. Some of it will piss you off. The Chevrolet Suburban, the GMC Yukon XL, and the Cadillac Escalade, they're all freaking cousins. Don't you dare tell me no Cadillac is the same as a Chevrolet. Well, guess what? It is the same as that bow tie. It's just got a little nicer engine, a little nicer interior, a little nicer Zuzu, some more wham-whams. You know what I'm saying? But it is the same. All right, Big Bourbon. Take this and lower it like 4 inches in the front, 6 in the back. Throw some 24s on it and let's roll out. That's what I'm talking about. But since this isn't mine, we're not going to put any kind of 24s, 22s, nothing on it. The only thing we're going to do is we're going to see what kind of acceleration this will give us. This is a 2025 with 41,000 miles on it already. Somebody been driving the poo-poo out of this. All right. Let's see what she'll give us. It sounds freaking great. 25 Ford Expedition. I hate this steering wheel. I hate this steering wheel. I hate this steering wheel. Can I say it one more time? I hate this steering wheel. This overly thing, it just, look at it. It doesn't feel right. It feels all wrong. Are you gonna go give me some power here before I get killed? All right. Jeez. I got a lot of history with the Ford Expedition. I love the Ford Expedition. One of my best friends in college had a 1998 model, or a 99 2000. It was the Eddie Bauer blue with the tan on the bottom, rocking a 5.4 V8. The engine sucked. I hate the 5.4. But anyway, all right. A whole bunch of technology. The Ford Expedition has grown up. Ford plucked a lot of stuff from Lincoln. There's a lot of Lincoln going on in here. That wraparound Nautilus screen up there, it's all about the screen, just like it was in the Tahoe. But this is even more so, because the Tahoe still had a few, or the Suburban still had a few, like actual buttons and things. No, everything is in the screen. Everything is in the screen. Headlight controls. The only thing that's not is you've got four-wheel drive controls down over here next to your left knee, where the headlight controls used to be. That is now where you will find your four-wheel drive controls. Now, Ford's philosophy, they switched over years and years and years ago. I love that camera off the bottom of the mirror right there when you turn that on. First time I ever saw that was in a Hyundai. God, that steering wheel sucks. It's almost, you almost have to drive it with two hands. I mean, like, it's that weird. But anyway, 3.5 liter twin turbo V6. You got two different versions. I mean, it's the same engine, but you get different tunes. A little bit more shoot in your tailpipe. 450 horsepower and 510 pound-feet of torque. But then obviously this is a twin turbo engine, so you could do more tuning and all that if you wanted to do that. It's so weird they got rid of XLT. I guess Ford's focus groups told them that just having little letters like that is not going to work. You've got to have a word. It's got to be called something. But I've seen that on the Ford Escapes and the Ford Explorers, so that is something they're going to be running across the board. I don't know how I feel about the dash. What do y'all think? I mean, I don't know. But it's one of my favorite sayings. Ford did not call and ask me what I thought about it before they designed it. So I got to find out about it the same as y'all did. All right. Let's get in here and let's see what she'll do for us. Whoa. That's a lot quicker than that Suburban did. Now, the Suburban only had the 5.3 instead of the 6.2, but whoa! Expedition was coming. Yeah. Well, that's by far the longest review we've ever done. That's kind of fair, though, because they're some of the biggest vehicles we've ever been in. So here's the way I see this. I'd like to have the V8, that 5.3, I'd like to have that underneath the hood. Then I would like to have the interior of the Ford Expedition with the body of the Chevy Suburban. Have a hobbly.